Ji Namaste, Pranams.
Hare Krishna, pranams to all of you. Thank you for joining.
You are doing a big service. Why? Thank you, Ji. You are doing a very big service to us. Then we also only thank you, not you. We only should thank you.
No, it is both ways. I am also getting benefited. You are giving me an opportunity to speak about Krishna. So that is very, very rare opportunity. It's not easy. So I am grateful to all of you. I hope you can see the screen, right?
Yes, Ji. Yes. Sure.
Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Sakshur-unmilatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Tadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagahana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. So, would anyone like to recollect what we discussed last week? Few points can you share?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
While living in the present body, one performs new actions, creating fresh karma, and simply exhausting old karmas does not bring liberation. Fruitive activity will make us take repeated births. Devotional service gives us liberation.
Correct. So, by engaging in various activities, fruitive activities means activities expecting results that will cause more bondage. Yeah, that's a very nice point. Anyone else would like to share? I think many people are not joined. So, we also talked about return on investment, right? Material investment versus spiritual investment. In the material world, everyone is working very hard. They are investing their time and energy to improve their material life. But what happens, Prahlad is saying, that will fetch you only temporary results. But spiritual investment is eternal. There is no loss in that. That will liberate us from this cycle of birth and death. Yeah. So we also saw that death does not end our karma, simply just like the bank balance continues, same way our karma continues, only our body changes, but our karma, left out karma, continues to come along with us. Whichever body we take, we have to undergo the reaction for the actions, karma, what we have done in our, it's a continuous account. So just like a seed, it is always growing. So we need to understand this. So material progress cannot solve the real problem. So we saw like this, and then we finished that chapter. He instructed his classmates, and then he asked his friends, now you decide. He finally concluded that without devotional service, everything is simply a show, right? So therefore, consider whatever I have said and engage in devotional service. So that is the ultimate instruction Prahlad gave to his friends. Therefore, he is saying, be serious in following the path of devotional service, surrender to Krishna. That should be the ultimate goal of life. Now we are going to see the next chapter, the climax chapter. What happens is what is going to happen now. Okay. Can someone read the sloka and translation? Just try. So this chapter is called Lord Narasimhadev slays the king of the demons. Narasimhadev is going to appear in this chapter. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother.
Shri Narada Uvacha Ata Daitya Sutta Sarve Shrutva Tad Anuvarnitam Jagruhur Niravadyatvam Naiva Guru Anushikshitam. Translation: Narada Muni continued, all the sons of the demons appreciated the transcendental instructions of Prahalada Maharaja and took them very seriously. They rejected the materialistic instructions given by their teachers Sanda and Amarka. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So Narada Muni, he is telling the story of Prahlad to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So when all the Prahlad's classmates, when they heard of Prahlad's instructions, they were struck with wonder. So what happened is that because of his power of his pure devotional preaching, then what happened? Their hearts became transformed, although they all had demonic tendency, because they are all sons of demons, right? Before hearing this instruction from Prahlad, they were all they didn't have any tinge of any devotion to Krishna. But after hearing from Prahlad, their heart became completely changed. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the word of a pure devotee, it has the power to transform the heart. Why? Because they carry the message, this was carried faithfully. They can faithfully carry the message of Krishna through the disciplic succession. So what does it mean? Prahlad Maharaj, he did not convert his classmates by force, by fear or argument. He transformed by his purity, by his realization, by his compassion. And he faithfully presented the message, what he received from Narada Muni. So this is how preaching means what? Preaching means our message should be for very appealing to the hearers, whomever they may be. So that's how Prabhupada, when he went to America, he preached, because the people they were in America at that time, they didn't have any idea about who is Krishna, what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavatam. But because of Prabhupada's purity and his realization, and because his compassionate nature, and he faithfully presented as was he heard from the Guru Parampara, therefore this has transformed the heart of a person. So this is how we need to convey the message. So it is not just that is the secret of effective preaching. Effective preaching means does not depend upon your academic degrees or how eloquently you speak or intelligently you present it or what social influence you have. So it does not mean that. It does not change the heart of the person. So essentially it should have three qualities. Means the preacher must understand the philosophy properly, and number two, he should be very sincere, nishta, should welfare of the others, should be very genuinely concerned about the welfare of others. And he should also do a serious sadhana, practice what he teaches. Like we say chanting Hare Krishna, the preacher also must hear, not just like cut, copy and paste. You cannot do that one. So prior to Srila Prabhupada, many people from India went to America. They also trying to talk about Bhagavad Gita, but hardly anyone became a devotee. But Prabhupada's book and Prabhupada's words, Vani, has created a revolution. So wherever he went, wherever people, whenever they come in contact with Prabhupada, immediately they could feel the change in their heart. That's how they dedicated their life and they surrendered their life to follow Prabhupada's movement. And also we see that Prahlad, he did not invent a new philosophy. He simply repeated what he heard from Narada Muni. The same principle we need to follow. So everyone has to become a powerful preacher because the world is full of people who are in complete ignorance. So we cannot force people to change. We cannot change the heart by that. Only by the purity of the preacher, genuine, compassionate nature can change the whole world. So Prabhupada quotes this from third canto, one verse is there, Satam prasangam mama virya sammido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha. So discussion coming from pure devotees, it will be pleasing to ears and it will be nourishing to heart and it will be spiritually transformative. Why? Because he speaks, a pure devotee speaks from his realization and he has he really loves, cares for others. He doesn't have any motive, selfish motive. Therefore, his words carry the information and gives spiritual inspiration for others. So therefore, this is the important thing. Satsanga means spiritual association, means change the heart. So Prahlad's classmates were transformed simply hearing from him. So what changed? Association shapes consciousness. But if you have bad association, it will lead to kama, krodha, and envy, materialism. All these things will come. But good association means we develop faith, humility, devotion, and compassion. Just like analogy is given, if you keep an iron rod in the fire, gradually it becomes hot and it becomes so fiery. Similarly, when you are in the association of pure devotees, gradually it spiritualizes the heart. So that's why all preachers, we need many preachers who can carry this message and transform the heart of the people. Okay. Second shloka. Anyone would like to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Attakarya sutasthesam buddhim eganda samstidam alakshya vitas varido Yajna Avedaya Yada. Translation: when Sanda and Amaraka, the sons of Sukracharya, observed that all the students, the sons of the demons, were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness because of the association of Prahlad Maharaja, they were afraid. They approached the king of the demons and described the situation as it was. Thank you, Prabhu.
Right. So, when Sanda and Amarka, when they came to know that their teaching was not effective, but what happened is that all the classmates who were in association with Prahlad, they all became Krishna conscious. So this was alarming to Sanda and Amarka. So they thought that by giving, they can convert Prahlad. But what happened is that Prahlad has converted all his classmates to become devotees. So this is like a reversal for them. So Buddhim Ekanta Samstitam means the effect of Prahlad Maharaj preaching, the students who have listened to him, they become fixed in the conclusion of Krishna consciousness. So the point is that anyone who comes in contact with pure devotees and follows instruction, they will become fixed in Krishna consciousness. They will not get deviated from the materialistic conscious people. So this Sanda and Amarka, they observed it, that actually when they went for some time for interval, that time Prahlad started preaching to all his classmates. So the point is association with pure devotee, it has got the power to completely transform one's intelligence, character, priorities, and life purpose. So this is very important, that Prahlad actually, he changed their intelligence. Previously, his classmates' intelligence was spoiled. They were all into all kind of atheism, and they were all in demonic characters they had. But by Prahlad's association, their opinions, emotions, behavior, everything got changed. Their way of thinking. So Prabhupada wanted the same thing. Prabhupada started this society. He knows that the whole world is full of people like Hiranyakashipu. But by Prabhupada's strong preaching, following the parampara, he wrote books. That's why book distribution is very important, that people start reading. They are associating with Srila Prabhupada actually. When anyone reads Prabhupada books, they are associating with Prabhupada. That heart will change. Right? So it will be convincing because he is presenting in such a way that the heart will be transformed. So Prahlad had no selfish motive. He had no desire for prestige. He had no desire for political ambition. His only desire was to please Krishna. So a preacher also have the same mood. He is not doing anything for his own benefit. Simply he wants people to become Krishna conscious. That's all. So therefore his message has an effect on others. And he had full of compassion. He wanted everyone to become happy. Even to his father, he was not very angry. He is not angry with his father also. He was trying to convince his father that you take up Krishna consciousness. Don't be like a demon. You cannot be happy in that way. So that was his message. So therefore, association changes the consciousness. Therefore, we should always seek for good association of devotees. By their association, we can develop. Otherwise, it is not possible. Text 3. Text 3 and 4 actually. So what happened is that when Sanda and Amarka, they came and told Hiranyakashipu about the situation, what is happening in the Gurukul, then he became very angry. He immediately understood the situation and he could not tolerate. His body trembled. He was thinking that Sanda and Amarka will change Prahlad, but Prahlad is changing everyone, his classmates. That became, he cannot tolerate So he was hissing like a trampled snake. A snake is generally very envious, but when it is hit by a rod or trampled, it becomes very angry. Same way, Hiranyakashipu ego was very much affected. It was like beating his ego with a stick. Therefore, he is like an angry snake. So, uh, Hiranyakashipu actually is um, offending a great devotee. And Prahlad is very dear to the Lord. He is not an ordinary child. He is a pure devotee, completely surrendered to Krishna. And he is also free from envy. So therefore, it is a Hiranyakashipu is becoming angry towards Prahlad is not good for him actually. So that is called a Vaishnava Aparad. Vaishnava Aparad means insulting or criticizing, harming or envying or persecuting or disrespecting a genuine devotee of the Lord. So therefore, material nature will not allow and he will be punished. Any person who offends a Vaishnava, pure devotee, then the reactions, consequences are very dangerous. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu is example for this. He has performed lot of austerities. With great austerities only he could get so much of power, long life, vast wealth, everything. That also doesn't come easily. He has done lot of power. He has do tapasya to please Lord Brahma. But what happened? Because now he is offending a pure devotee, he is not able to do anything Prahlad. He could not harm Prahlad. Instead, he is doing a great Vaishnava aparad, for which he is going to face a very difficult situation now. Therefore, the lesson here is material achievements, it cannot protect a person from offensive towards pure devotees. Now, if you Prabhupada quotes in the purport that if what happens if you offend great souls, Prabhupada says that Ayugu Shriyam Yasho Dharmam Lokan Ashisha Evacha Antri Sheyamsi Sarvani Pumso Mahat Atikramaha. So Ayugu, first of all, what happens? Your lifespan will decrease if you offend a devotee, right? And Shriyam, the prosperity, that will also diminish. Yasa, reputation. So if you disrespect a pure devotee, your honor will be lost. And you lose your dharma also. And also Lokan. Lokan means your next destination will be not a higher destination. And Ashishaga, the blessings you received from saintly persons also will disappear. So why blessings are important? Because spiritual progress depends on mercy. It is not just like you qualified, you get qualified, and then you get automatically. No. Spiritual qualification, progress happens when the Guru is pleased, by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, and when Krishna is pleased. Without this, our own efforts it's not sufficient to progress in spiritual life. Kripa, that's why the Sanskrit word Kripa is important, mercy. Therefore, the devotees, they always seek blessings from the senior Vaishnavas. Just like the example, you may have a healthy seed, but without water it cannot grow. Similarly, our spiritual practices require the water, that means the saintly mercy. So now here we see the difference between external power and spiritual strength. Hiranyakashipu, he was having lot of powers, military strength, political power, mystic achievements. And what Prahlad had, he had only bhakti, humility, and he was completely dependent on Krishna. So when these two came into conflict, what happened? Material power was destroyed, but devotion remained victorious. So this is the very important to understand. that spiritual strength ultimately will surpass the material strength. Like, even Prabhupada as a sannyasi, he was trying to get the land in Juhu, Bombay ISKCON temple, where that place is called Juhu. There, he wanted to have a land. There, one Mr. Nair was there. He was very influenced person, and he was trying to trick Srila Prabhupada. He took money from Prabhupada and he took money from some others also and tried to cheat Prabhupada. But ultimately, what happened? Prabhupada could not be cheated. Nair has lost. In fact, he lost his life also. So that is how spiritual power, his purity cannot be defeated by material power. So Prahlad, by his spiritual strength, he could able to defeat Hiranyakashipu. Although Hiranyakashipu had all the powers in the world to kill him, he could not kill him. So therefore, this is very important that spiritual power is not something everyone can get unless a person is sincere in practicing devotional service, and by the mercy of Guru only one can get the spiritual power. Text 4. So what happened? Hiranyakashipu, he was a crooked person. He was chastising Prahlad, and he didn't even consider the Prahlad his own son, a young, small boy of 6-7 years old. And Prahlad, even though he was put into all kinds of troubles, he was peaceful, mild and gentle. His senses was under control, and he was always offering respects with folded hands. He was telling Hiranyakashipu, he should not be punished, but Hiranyakashipu was chastising Prahlad. So as a result, Hiranyakashipu was losing his strength. So text 5. So then Hiranyakashipu, what he said, Prahlad, you are most imprudent, most unintelligent. You are the disruptor of this family, and you are the lowest of mankind, violated my power to rule you. You are a fool number 1. Today I will kill you and will send you to the place of Yamaraj. Such harsh words a father is speaking to his son. Although Prahlad was he did not commit any sins. But look at the world. This is how the world is. So we need to understand that just because you become a devotee, it does not mean that you will not have any opposition. Even though you may be a devotee, still one may have to face difficult situation. But he will overcome, just like Prahlad overcame all the difficulties by his faith over Krishna. Hiranyakashipu, he could not do anything to Prahlad. So he was calling Prahlad with all harsh words. And here in the purport, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, a great Acharya, he gave different version. Although Hiranyakashipu tried to call Prahlad with all very harsh words, but he gave a different meaning. So Hiranyakashipu said, you are a Sanskrit word, Durvinita. What Hiranyakashipu meant was you are uncivilized. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he interprets differently. He says that Duhu means that this miserable material world. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, what is he saying in Bhagavad Gita about this material world? It is a place of misery. And V means specially. Nita means brought. So what does Prahlad specially? He was brought into this miserable world. Why? To deliver the conditioned soul. So although Hiranyakashipu meant that Prahlad, you are uncivilized, but actually the Sanskrit word can be interpreted that Prahlad is brought into this material world to deliver the conditioned souls. That is the mission of the pure devotee. So therefore, then Prahlad, he also said, you are Mandhatman. he called Prahlad, you are foolish. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that Prahlad Maharaj came to this material for people who are manda. Manda means they are spiritually lazy. So Prahlad, he came to instruct people who are spiritually lazy to awaken them and give them spiritual knowledge. So that is the purpose. So like that, however, Hiranyakashipu tried to chastise Prahlad, but actual meaning is different here. So that's how he describes here. Okay. Then what happened? He said, Prahlad, you are rascal number one. And he was boasting himself. When I am angry, all the planetary systems tremble. There is no match for my authority. And then he asked him, if that's the case, by whose power actually you are able to withstand all my punishments? There is no one in this world who can overcome my power. If that is the case, how come you are able to withstand? From where you are getting the power? So like that he was chastising. So what is the secret of Prahlad's fearlessness? By Hiranyakashipu asked, by whose strength have you become so fearless? So externally Prahlad he was only 5-6 years old. He was physically weak. He was unarmed. He was standing before the most powerful ruler in this universe. But Prahlad still he was fearless. How is that? Prahlad was not thinking, I am very powerful. He was thinking, Krishna is powerful and therefore he will protect me. So this is the difference between a devotee and a materialist. A devotee never depends on himself. Prahlad knew that he had no power. A devotee never claims to be very powerful himself. That is because of his humility. He knows his intelligence, strength, everything, life belongs to Krishna. He can only protect him. Therefore, he is completely surrendered to Krishna. Krishna will protect me. So therefore, he had full confidence over Krishna and he is powerful. He can protect me. So this is called Sharanagati. Avasyam Rakshasati Vishwasaha. Firm faith that Krishna will protect. Whatever happens, Krishna is always with me. That is the faith, it removes fear. People are fear about so many things. What will happen if I lose my job or if I lose my money, bank balance, if I get diseased, who will protect me? So if you have complete faith on Krishna, then Krishna will definitely protect. And therefore Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanahi name bhakta pranashati. My devotee never perishes. So this is Krishna's personal promise. So Krishna is guaranteeing that his devotee will not be perished at any time. He is protecting, just like how he protected the Pandavas, how he protected Draupadi. So there are so many incidents are there. So Prahlad had complete faith on Krishna, that even though his father Hiranyakashipu is torturing him, he knows that Krishna will protect him. So therefore he became fearless. And Prahlad replied, from where he is getting the source? He gave a very nice answer. He says that the source of my strength is the source of yours also. So one's original source, because Krishna is the source of everything, everyone's strength. It is not only you and me, it's everyone's strength. Everyone gets strength from Krishna. The only difference is some people realize it and many people don't realize it. That is the difference. Right? Even the great Devatas, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all the 33 crore Devatas, they are all doing their service. From where they are getting the power, just like the sun. The sun is emanating heat continuously for years. So where is the power? The power is coming from Krishna's Brahma Jyoti. So Prahlad Maharaj is teaching that Krishna is the source of all strength, and every living being is completely dependent upon him, and no one is independently powerful. So knowing that one's intelligent, one should have real intelligence surrendered to Krishna. And if you surrender to Krishna, then if devotee become fearless. So when Hiranyakashipu heard that it destroyed completely his pride, so he thought, Hiranyakashipu thought that I got my power by doing austerities. From Lord Brahma I got it, but I performed tapasya. Pleased with my tapasya, Brahma gave me this power. So he thought he is the doer. But Prahlad explains, no, even the ability to perform austerities is also given by Krishna. So whatever skills, whatever power we may have in our life, right? It is not just because by our own efforts. Yeah, we might have we might have taken good efforts to study hard or to do something to develop certain skills. But ultimately, Krishna has to sanction, give his mercy. Then only one can get it, power or fame or beauty, whatever it is. Right? So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yat yat vibhutimat sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat tat eva vagachatvam mama tejo amsa sambhavam. Whatever is powerful, beautiful or glorious should be understood to arise from spark of my splendor. So we cannot just take credit on our own self. Ultimately, everyone is dependent on Krishna. So whatever strength we have got, it is all borrowed strength only. No one has independent power. Hiranyakashipu is not having independent power, but he is not realizing that. Just like a bulb, it shines brilliantly, but does the bulb create electricity? No. It only receives electricity. Similarly, every living being may shine only because of God's energy flowing through him. So therefore, no one should claim that he is independent. Prahlad saying the same thing, whether moving or non-moving, superior or inferior, everyone, including Lord Brahma, is under the control of Krishna. So this is the point. So Prahlad further says, Krishna is the one who is giving the power to see, and he is giving a mind. He is giving the strength to the body, and he is the vital force. By his own power, Krishna creates the whole universe. He is the controller of the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajo, and Tamo Guna. He is the one who maintains everything. He is the one. In the form of Lord Shiva, he destroys. Right? So everything is Krishna's energy. If it's a transformation of Krishna's energy. So that we need to realize. So without Krishna's intervention, nothing can happen. As it says that not even a single blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. So we should realize as devotees, we should understand that whatever happens in our life, everything is a blessing of Krishna. Without Krishna's mercy, we cannot get it, whether it is material or spiritual. So Prahlad further says to Hiranyakashipu, therefore give up your demonic mentality. Don't discriminate. Become equipoised. And you should understand that your mind is the uncontrolled mind is the enemy. And see everyone as equal. And take up Krishna consciousness. So he is directly telling Hiranyakashipu, he is giving the same teaching. So the important point here is that we have to understand the real enemy is not outside us. What is the real enemy? The real enemy is uncontrolled mind. Manaha is the greatest enemy. Therefore, the mind needs to be purified. by practicing devotional service. And if anyone engage in devotional service, he can only come to the understanding that all living beings are part and parcel of Supreme Lord. And then he will have an equal vision, Samadarshinaha. Then it is possible to give hatred or envy. Like nowadays we see one nation is fighting with another nation. They think that they are the enemy. They think that if I kill those people, I'll become happy. So this is all because of ignorance, not having any spiritual knowledge at all. Because each and every living entity is part and parcel of one Supreme Lord. So therefore, by killing others, you are not going to, the Lord is not going to be pleased by your activity. It's Vasudeva Kudumbagam. That means they are one family. Everyone is a son of the Supreme Lord. So this vision can come only for devotees like Prahlad. Here we see his extraordinary compassion. Normally we will see that father will be teaching to the son. But in the case of Prahlad, what's happening? He is teaching to his father. Prahlad, he is not saying that Prahlad, he is not praying that my father should be punished and you want to take revenge on him. But he is saying very lovingly, my dear father, please give up your demonic mentality. So this is a vision of symptom of a Mahabhagavata. So he can, only a pure devotee can see that even his enemy, someone who needs spiritual help. So therefore, a devotee's heart is filled with full of compassion, forgiveness, goodwill, and he will never hate another person. So Prahlad further saying here that he is openly saying, although he is also saying that you are like fools, and he's saying that the greatest hero is one who conquers the whole world. Materialistic people, they are thinking that one becomes an hero if he is able to conquer the whole world. But Prahlad is teaching the greatest hero is the one who conquers his own mind and senses. So it's a very important lesson. Unless we conquer over our mind and senses, we cannot achieve anything in this world. That is not the big thing. That is the greatest thing, achievement, to control our mind and senses. So here Prahlad is teaching the 5 timeless truths. He's saying first is the real enemies are not outside us, they are within us. The uncontrolled mind and senses are our greatest enemy. And one who conquers himself has already conquered the world. And what is the cause of this external enemy? It is caused by ignorance and false ego. And if you want real peace, then you have to do devotional service to Krishna. So these are the 5 truths he is giving here. So the greatest mistake of this material civilization is today, Prahlad is saying, many fools thought that they have conquered all 10 directions. So what does this mean? Historically, if you see, there are many kings. They conquered the kingdoms, nations, armies, empires. They become known as great conquerors, emperors. But Prahlad is saying they are all still defeated. Why? Because they never conquered their 6 enemies. The 6 enemies are what? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, delusion, pride and envy. So unless a person conquers these 6 enemies, he cannot be called a successful person. So he may conquer externally so many things, but internally is defeated. So therefore, these are the 6 enemies that steal away the wealth of the soul. So what is kama? Lust means unlimited selfish desire. It says, I want more. It is never satisfied. More and more, everything. And krodha is anger. When desires are frustrated, then anger will appear. Then what happens? Anger will destroy our intelligence and our relationships, and then we will never have peace of mind. Lobha means greed. Even after obtaining enough, greed will say, I want more, I want little more. And greed has no finish line. And moha, illusion. Illusion means to understand, to have a false identification that I am this body, the wealth is mine, the whole world belongs to me. So this is called moha. Mada means pride, thinking that I am, Hiranyakashipu is thinking I am very powerful, learned, wealthy, superior, there's no one greater than me. So this is the disease of Mada, pride. And finally envy, Matsarya. Matsarya means you cannot tolerate another person's success. Envy destroys friendship, family, society, and spiritual life. So like this. So Prahlad is telling you are infected with this 6 disease. You should be cured. Unless you conquer the 6 enemies, you will not have peace of mind. So Hiranyakashipu said, when Hiranyakashipu heard this, then he said, Prahlad, you are trying to minimize my value. What are you thinking? you are saying that you are better than me, that you can control over the senses. This is over intelligent. You are trying to act very smart. You are just 5 years old. What do you know? Don't have any experience. And therefore, you have to be punished by me. So you are talking like a crazy person who are going to die. I am going to kill you now. Right? So this was, he was trying to chastise Prahlad. So Prahlad quotes in the purport that in Itopadesha, there is a quotation is there. Upadesho hi murkana prakopaya na shantaye. Meanings, if you give good advice to a fool, it does not bring peace to him. Instead, it makes him more angry. And that's what is happening. Now, Prahlad is trying to give good advice to Hiranyakashipu, but he is becoming more and more angry. But an intelligent person, he will think, how can I improve? But a foolish person, he will think that if somebody corrects him, he will think, how dare you correct me? So the difference is not intelligence, the difference is humility. So if a person is very proud, it closes the door to wisdom. Prahlad very respectfully said, my dear father, please control your mind. Instead of appreciating his advice, Hiranyakashipu is becoming very furious. What is happening is his false ego, Ahankara, was hurt. Because he's my own son, just 5-year-old son, he is teaching me, who is the emperor of the 3 worlds. So knowledge will enter only in a humble heart. If the heart is blocked with pride, then you will not get any spiritual realization. Therefore, Krishna is saying, if you want to get spiritual knowledge, what you have to do? Tadvidi pranipatena. You have to have approach with humility. That's all. So Hiranyakashipu said, "O most unfortunate Prahlad, you desire to be killed. You think that you are above everything." Huh? So he asked his question. You say that your Lord is everywhere. Then he's asking, if he's everywhere, why is he not present before me in this pillar? Show me. You say your God is everywhere. Then show me your God. I want to see the God face to face now. So Prahlad, the same pillar is stood before Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. But both were seeing completely different. Hiranyakashipu saw only a stone pillar, but Prahlad already saw that Narsimhadev is there inside the pillar. Because vision depends on consciousness, not just because of eyesight. So sometimes people may ask, if God exists, why can't I see him? So Prahlad is giving an answer. The problem is not that God is absent. The problem is that our vision is covered. So Krishna is everywhere. Hari is everywhere. Sarva Vyapi. the all-pervading Lord. Everything exists within him, and he exists within everything. But at the same time, he remains independent. So that's what said in Bhagavad Gita, Maya tatam idam jagat sarvam, jagat avyakta murtinaga. He says that I pervade the entire universe. So now when Hiranyakashipu mocked that your God is inside this pillar, but Prahlad had no doubt. He simply replied yes. But then why Hiranyakashipu is not able to see him? So Krishna gives answer in Bhagavad Gita, Anaham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha. I don't manifest to everyone. Mudo, especially to the foolish people. I do not manifest. So God is not an object to be examined by our senses, like doing experiment and finding out. But he is the supreme person, and he has the uh, wish to whether to reveal or not. That is his choice. We cannot force God to appear in front of us. So it is not merely a matter of eyesight, it is a matter of purity and divine grace. Prabhupada quotes this Brahma Samhita sloka. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Who can see Krishna? Those whose eyes are anointed with the ointment of love. Only those people can see the Lord everywhere. So you need to have the eyes of bhakti to see Krishna's presence, to see Krishna's guidance and mercy. He is there everywhere. He is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. He is always sitting with us. But if we have to pay attention, then only Krishna also will pay attention towards us. Now what Hiranyakashipu said, because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Let's see that your God come and protect you. That's what he wanted to see. He was giving a challenge. I want to see it. So what he did, he became very angry, filled with anger. He abused Prahlad and with sharp words. And what he did, he took the sword and struck the pillar with his fist. So what happened? So the lesson is anger will destroy wisdom completely. So then from the pillar, like a fearful sound came. It cracked the covering of the entire universe. So never before he has heard such noise. So everyone got so much fearful to hear such noise. Sometimes here also we are hearing the bombs are falling. Although the bombs are falling very far, but the noise is so loud, cracking sound, like the windows, panes and all, it is shattering. It is getting vibration. The buildings are getting vibration. We can feel it. So we can see here that when Hiranyakashipu hit with his fist the pillar, then the cracking noise like a thunder, heavy thunder came. But then Hiranyakashipu got really stuck up with fearful. So he is and when Hiranyakashipu, he saw that a form which never he has seen before. And the demons, all the demons, they could not find out from where this noise is coming. They never heard such noise. So what happened is Lord Narasimhadev, he, just to prove that Prahlad's word, the Supreme Lord, he appeared from the pillar. So the Lord is present everywhere, even in the pillar. So this Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. So Prahlad, he spoke the truth. And this form is very wonderful. Never before anyone has seen this form. That is half man, half lion form. So Narasimhadev's appearance is not just a miraculous event. It is the central message is the Supreme Lord is unlimited and is all pervading and is completely independent. So just to fulfill the promise made by his devotee, pure devotee Prahlad, he was hiding inside the pillar and waiting to come to give darshan. This is Krishna's inconceivable potency. He is there in everywhere, and he can appear in any form, whatever forms he likes. Yeah? It may not be logical that how is this possible, a form with half man, half lion, right? But that is what Hiranyakashipu could not recognize. He is seeing everywhere the noise, but the beautiful form of Lord Narasimhadev emerged from the pillar. So Hiranyakashipu was seeing in great amazement. And then he started thinking, who is this creature? His form was, Narasimhadev's form was very fearful, angry eyes, and he had a shining mane, and he had a deadly teeth, a razor sharp tongue, moved like a sword. And Hiranyakashipu, he could not conceive this form, right? And the description is there that Narasimhadev's ears were erect and motionless, and nostrils and mouth like a mountain caves, and jaws parted wide and fearsome. And he was so huge that body it touched the sky, his neck short and thick chest broad, and we had full of hairs, and his arms were wide and ready to pounce on Hiranyakashipu. And he had his Kong, disc, club, lotus, everything with him, just like Vishnu. Right? So Hiranyakashipu murmured to himself, Lord Vishnu has come now, who is a great mystic power has planned to kill me. But he cannot kill me. So he was trying to attack Lord Narasimhadev with his club. Just like a small ant is trying to attack a person. So Hiranyakashipu was just like a fig in front of Narasimhadev, but Hiranyakashipu, he thought that he can kill Narasimhadev, and he was trying to attack Narasimhadev with his club. Right? And the analogy is given just like a insects. It sees the fire and then it jumps into the fire. What happened? The insects get destroyed. Same way, Narasimhadev is like a fire and Hiranyakashipu is like an insect. He is trying to attack Narasimhadev. It's just like a small insect trying to attack the fire. So as he tried to attack Narasimhadev, he became invisible. So this is not very difficult to understand because Krishna is all powerful. He can appear and disappear at his own will. So Hiranyakashipu is unable to find where is Narasimhadev. So Krishna is like God is light, Maya is darkness. The Prabhupada says that so when Krishna is present, darkness cannot remain. So Hiranyakashipu, he became insignificant before the divine light. So the moment an insect enters the blazing fire, his existence becomes insignificant. Same way, Hiranyakashipu, he thought that I control the universe, I am immortal, I am God, and therefore he's got infinite power. But Krishna is unlimited, Narasimhadev, so he cannot do anything with Narasimhadev. So finally, when he tried to attack Narasimhadev, what happened? So just like the description is here, that he captured him with his club like Garuda captures a great snake. So Narasimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu very easily. And he wanted to, for some time actually, he wanted to do a mock fight with Hiranyakashipu. So we will see the description in the next class. Okay, so this is how Lord Narasimhadev appeared, and finally it is about Hiranyakashipu's end is about to happen. So these descriptions are there. You all saw the movie. There is one movie came recently, Narasimha, about this Prahlad Maharaj. What is that movie title? I forgot. It was very nice. So we will continue this in our next class, further about this. So we have covered 25 sloka in this chapter. Another 25 sloka is there. How Hiranyakashipu is being killed by Narasimhadev. Okay. So thank you once again for joining. Tomorrow is Jagannath Rath Yatra is there. So maybe wherever you are, whichever place you are, you can find out where this Jagannath in Puri, Jagannath Puri, this Ratha, every year this festival is there. All the millions of people comes to pull the Rath. It's another wonderful pastime of Lord Jagannath, how he appeared in this material world. We will discuss that sometime later when we get time. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna. If anyone has any comments or anyone would like to share, please you can ask any questions. You are welcome. Okay, so there is no questions, no comments. So we'll stop it here. Thank you once again, all the devotees, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ji.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavatham ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hello, Thank you.